What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a fun video about the videos on the channel this year that did the best. So I of course love to review video games as well as make guides, etc. for my favorite ones, so unsurprisingly that is what most of this list comprises. But going into it, I had two metrics really that I was looking at for this, and that is views and watch time. That said, we're primarily going by views because all of the watch times top 5 are basically just my supercuts of the stories of longer RPGs where people will just watch them to get the gist of the plot, and the watch time list is almost entirely supercuts outside of one entry that is also on the top 5 views list, so I decided to just go with the views. As such, these are the videos in 2021 that got the channel the most views. Now, in the number 5 spot, we have my guide for the Devourer armor set in Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, this guide was actually made last year, but this particular year it still got 97,000 views, and it is a pretty straightforward guide about how to acquire the Devourer armor from the Relics of Rivellon gift bag that was added to Divinity Original Sin 2. The Devourer armor actually requires you to assemble the pieces over the course of the game, and at the very end of that quest line you actually have to fight an undead dragon, the Devourer, and that guide also includes a strategy guide for that boss fight, which is one of the harder fights in the game, and I'm very proud of that video. Now, in the number 4 spot, coming in right at 100,000 views, we have my top 5 favorite classes for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So I made an absolute nonsense amount of Pathfinder content this year. However, surprisingly, Wrath of the Righteous only has this one video on this list, and that was my top 5 favorite classes. This actually saw the most views just before and right after the release of Wrath of the Righteous, as you might imagine. However, it did very well just over the course of the year, as I originally published that back in, I believe it was June or July. But moving on to our 3rd spot. So our 3rd spot has 105,000 views, and it is Pathfinder Kingmaker, my review after 100%. Now again, people were excited for Wrath of the Righteous's launch pretty much all year, and as such, a lot of people were searching for reviews of Kingmaker, the previous entry, to kind of see what they were getting into, and I had reviewed Kingmaker after 100%, so it just soaked up a lot of those views. And in case you're wondering, Kingmaker is a lot of fun, however it does have some pretty egregious problems, and I suggest you watch the review if you want to hear my thoughts about that. Now, in our number 2 spot, we actually have a relatively recent video with 116,000 views, and this was my video talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and the state of that game after 1 year in early access. So I made this back in October actually, and I was just honestly recapping everything that had been added to the title, timelines, that type of stuff, as I have been following the development and early access period of BG3 very heavily. And now, for our number 1 spot, and I actually think this might surprise a couple people, because again, it's not anything to do with Pathfinder. The number 1 video for the channel this year was actually my Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire review. So this video surprised me actually, because this video has done the most consistently well of any video I've ever published, which is a shame because the audio quality isn't amazing. But that review has 164,000 views right now. It obviously got quite a few when I first published it, of course, but that particular video gets anywhere on average between 500 to 1,000 views every single day. It is remarkably consistent, especially when you consider that the biggest individual day that video ever had was about 2.2 thousand views. And ironically enough, this video actually has the most views of any video on my channel. And honestly, it surprises even me just how remarkably long-lived that review has been. And I actually made it right when I was starting to really take this channel seriously because I was starting to see a lot of growth. So it's an important video to me as well. But there you have it, everybody. Just a quick glimpse of the best performing videos of the channel in 2021. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested in any of the videos we covered, I should have them linked down below as long as I remembered to do it. But I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and comment. I imagine most of the people watching this video are already subscribed, but if you're not, also do that. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you guys, not only for watching, but hanging out with me throughout this year, especially if you watched any of those videos when they were first published. Thank you. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.